All right. Let me make sure that microphone is working, and it is. For some weird glare. Anyway, I don't know why we're getting the random glare, but we'll take it. So we're gonna do a quick stream tonight, just an hour. I'm gonna show off a tool that I'm working on called Space Edit. A little bit more work on Space Edit today, and maybe get some of the fundamental multiplayer stuff in. Maybe think about, like, you know, local multiplayer, you know, during the process. There's some bugs. Okay, so we're gonna kind of start off with ClickUp, I guess. Start defining our little user story here for Space Edit. So, very vague. Add multiplayer. Add inner corner wall. All of the assets for Space Edit are going to be very, very, very basic. Add floor system. Add ceiling system. Lots to kind of talk about. Camera is good, selectables good, asset previews. To figure out how to do like a 3D render of some of these things, right? What will this do? Like create the texture, render, other resources. I might have to ask Rock on that one. And then we'll save these. Save these cached to textures. Objects. ID.png. I think objects is fine. And maybe in a sense, maybe it's time to stop calling prefabs prefabs and start just calling them kind of game objects. That's kind of what they are. We'll do textures, icons, game objects. Hi, I love your streams. Do you have a schedule when you're live? If you're up to it, feel free to chat me on Discord. Thanks. I have a feeling you're either A, an artist, or B, potentially a scammer, but we'll see. Time will tell. Yeah, like, only the ones that I placed become not selectable. And I wonder if it's there. Because they have a box selector. But they're, and they do have a mesh. And interestingly enough, they do have a material overlay material applied to them. It's saying it's an orphan. Yeah, but how can I be an orphan just here, you know what I mean? Seems fine to me. Got everything it needs. The array of meshes is fine. Overlay material is fine. Must be something about the way we're duplicating it. Alright, so we have wall 2, wall 3. Let me add another. So that would be wall 4. Alright, so this is inside wall 4. Fusion! How's it going, man? How is life? Had a disastrous 12 months now, closer to picking up all the pieces. That's good, dude. I'm glad to see you're okay. We've been making some very, very, very good progress on some of the game systems. And what I'm working on now, I'm going to turn my music down a bit, and I'll just physically turn it down a bit. I don't know what it's like for you. Maybe it's too loud. Maybe it's not. So I started working on this side project yesterday because I got a lot of the netcode stuff working. What's that less progress towards self-promotion? For yourself? How you have fallen without me. Check this out. So I'm actually building an in-game editor which is multiplayer compatible, which means we can take a bunch of Patreon members, give them a build, and they can go take any of the prefabs and just build stuff. Right? Build out stations, build out, you know, any of the kind of like, you know, areas. This goes up and down. It's kind of a cool, you know, system that I'm working on. Oh, the YouTube and Facebook channels don't point towards. There's probably there's a lot of stuff, dude, that needs to be updated. But anyway, I need to add more of these. How's the game looking? Pretty much the same. Art hasn't changed much. I am looking at hiring an artist pretty much part-time on the game. And you know, I right now just need to kind of give them a big to-do list and define a lot of the systems. But the biggest, you know, focus of what I've been working on is the actual technology behind everything. I want to show you. Let me show you some things. And I know they're not very marketing friendly, but they sure can be with the right amount of whipping. You know, like this. Am I in 16:9? Here, let me switch to the music. Okay, so it is the music. Okay, thanks. How's that? Are we good? Good on the music? Or we're down a little bit more. I could probably actually just turn it down here on OBS. Let me see. Music is a little bit up there. Let's try that. Let's see how we're doing here. How's that? Alright, so check this out. This is the new zone system. So we're gonna go and connect. And so we have you know, 2 characters. Each character has its own physics zone. completely like separated from itself. You can hear me now. Okay, excellent. So I'm gonna load in with another one. This might fail because, you know, we're actually testing it out. But here we go. Poking around Twitch for front end interactive 3D dev stack. Are we Godot? We are Godot. But check this out. All right, let's get ready for it. Watch this. Watch how smooth that is, Fusion. Now I'm actually inside a complete physics zone, and I want you to see how stable this is from another player. All right, there's our player in there doing this thing. We're gonna go jump in. Let me hop over to player 2. The issue is, like, if I don't get the timing right, like on the entrance for this, when it kind of whips around. Oh, that's way too low. Let me go around the other side real quick. I'm in 0G, but I'm still running. This is meant to show the tech, not the. Oh, dude, yeah, that whole system. Look at this. Fully stable physics zones. Everything that is happening inside this ship right now is in its own simulation. Right, from the server's perspective, everything is perfectly stable. That little jerk, that jerk was a reset of the little follow path that I put around it. The data pad. Oh, dude, it's the technology, you know, that you need. Like, the technology itself is absolutely coming along. Like, there's stuff now that I've been working on that has insane scale. What's your main gig? Art or coding? A lot of art. Most of the stuff that we do. See, the thing is because of the technology I need for Unforgiven space, I've had to build a lot of tech. So I had to build a Delta patcher, full API. I have, check this out. Let me just go to, here's my game. Oh, Fusion, marketing. Look, I want to test Unforgiven space. I run the launcher. I log in. I click the Patreon link. I click allow. I close the page. It Delta patches. When it's done, you click the play button. You know, much better than what we did before, where I had to go and do all this Google sharing, and you know what I mean? Much better, way better. But let's show. I'll let that repatch itself. It's fine. Because we're getting rid of the main station, like the test station, and making it a little bit more modular. I'll explain, like, everything that I'm kind of doing. It's all going to make sense. So this battle is Unforgiven Space. It is a very, like, early 80s-ish kind of space trucking, kind of like a Sea of Thieves in space, right? A light Star Citizen. You have your standard trading ship. You can upgrade everything. All the components can be swapped out, right? From, like, comm systems, navigation systems. There's, you know, everything inside the ship and under the ship. I don't have anything here by default, but you just, you know, you stick it up there, you rip everything off, you put it all on, and you're pretty much, you know, like, you know, living in space, buying and selling goods, and bringing it from, like, you know, point A to point B, doing missions. Get our guy ignore the normals on his head. You know, and we have all of our kind of, like, social things, like playing pool and kind of chilling it with friends, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your gears. Terrible spiel right now, but send me at the end of the patcher. I'll give it a whirl on the Steam Deck when I finish work. Yep. Right, and you can bring the ship in, and it'll attach, and you can upgrade everything, and, you know, swap everything out. Right, but what I'm working on now is we're getting rid. Like, I don't like this was meant to be just a test station, but like we don't need these many like suit lockers, right? Like there's a lot of dead space here, even with all the vending machines and stuff like that I want to do. There's just a lot of, you know, like bad level design. Too much space between stuff that was just created originally because you know, everything needed to be spaced out a certain amount. But yeah, so you're kind of going from point A to point B. You can customize your own like habitation module. You can like, you know, do security contracts, do deliverables, all that kind of jazz. But I want to show you one more thing here, Fusion. I want to show you what we've done with multiplayer. Because none of the stuff that you're about to see in the systems project, this is where I'm doing most of the work. I'm just getting all the technology is now like working and scaling. I got some server meshing technology kind of happening for like replication of entities and game objects, and just playing around with a whole bunch of stuff for you know, scalability. But this is the new. I'm gonna start with just some of the play on the multiplayer stuff. I want to show you this unification of what I'm doing with the. I'm gonna make this editable for a second. So what we're doing is getting rid of the pads. Pads are just going away. They're not going to be a thing. There could be pads on the tops of ships, you know, for like larger capital ships that kind of bring the ships down and stuff like that. But we're gonna unify the system, and the way the system works now is that the hangar. There's still gonna be the same hangars, but they're all gonna have the same structure, the same you know, way of doing things. So when we, you know, store the ship, we bring the ship down, we bring up the sides. There's still missing. There's missing physicality, but you know, ship comes down, it cycles, and it just gets stored, and it despawns. When we spawn the ship in, right, these open up, come down, come up. The beginning and end is the same state, right? So it can easily be played backwards or played forwards. Makes it so much easier to be dealing with, right, like assets and having the NPCs just, you know, like there's no magical disappearing that's visible to the player. And then this changes also the way we do the repair. So the repair still happens on the pad, but there's an arm that's kind of like a part of the upper station. I don't really have it here in this particular scene because, you know, gameplay wise, it's really just a point, you know, that's holding the ship. But what I'd like is I've kind of readjusted, you know, what we're gonna do for the cargo elevators. So for cargo elevators, you can spawn in cargo, you know, and bring them up. There's 96Q cargo capacity, but the system that I like the most is I'm going to leave these what I call like airport conveyors, and the idea is you just load up, you queue up a bunch of stuff to be, you know, on like to be picked up, and it'll just keep the belt filled, so you can just kind of, you know, grab stuff and toss it in the ship and load it up, and there's always cargo waiting for you. You're not sitting there, you know, forever just, you know, working with these elevators. You can just kind of, same with dropping stuff off. When you want to drop off stuff, all you have to do is throw it on the you know, on the receiving belt, and it just goes in and despawns. So it's like a lot, you know, there's still the physicality, but there's also like a convenience there. My background is product development and visualization. My tech stack, oh yeah, 3 JavaScript, Modo, Maya, Adobe, vanilla JavaScript for communicating product usability and consumer experience. Stocking on game dev Twitch is more fun than Stack Overflow queries for finding new ideas for a tool demonstration. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of great ideas out there. Right, so this needs to be changed. But check, we're gonna go into the. This is what you could. These are the things you couldn't do before. And keep in mind, all of this stuff's all gray box. So what we're gonna do, and we have like all the crime stuff's now working. So I'm gonna log in as me. Right there's Revere. I'm gonna log in as Fusion. I should have called him Fusion. I know I'm spelling his name terrible, and we're gonna use the pink color that we have. All right, so we have Revere and we have Fusion on the server, and we're gonna head over to the cargo area, and I'm gonna show Fusion what we're if you're still here. And let's go. Whichever one is not focused loses like terrible frame rate. It's just the nature of just having the multiple instances of Godot running. But I don't know which things I should spoil first. Okay, I guess we'll do cargo first. So now it doesn't matter who buys the cargo, right? So we have, you know, the datapad, which is kind of like how much, like I have like 580,000 credits, right? It's all good. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 things of gas, and 2 metal, and 1 processed food, and all of that's fully synced. But I'm gonna get Fusion to buy a few more things, and we're all buying it into the same cargo volume. So do like 2 more metal on top of that. So these last 2, Fusion just grabbed, but anybody can grab authority over this stuff. So like sorting all this stuff, it's fully, you know, any authority. So authority gets passed through the server to whomever kind of requests it. So we can actually, between me and Fusion here, we could actually take these boxes and we can play, you know, ring toss per se. We just throw them at each other, you know, catch them, you know, throw them back and forth. It's all working. Right, and what's now working, if I spawn in my ship, or spawn in a ship, I'll be the observer. Nice, thanks. So like, let me just observe, right, like I'm the other player. So I'm gonna go back here to Fusion. So there's a Fusion ship, we know it's Fusion ship. You can on-socket any of the weapons, put them back on. You can affect the physics of the ship. You see I'm actually nudging it. Right, I can jump in, and you can actually, oh no, the camera, hang on, I must have free-looked for a second. Let me fix it real quick. What is that? I like decoupled my camera, thanks game. Let me just reset. Yeah. No, it's gonna be bugged now, of course. Was it where we encode it? Oh, we're overloading the encoder. That's why I'm getting the chops. So anyway, let me just pop in so you can see all the seat animations. Yeah, all those chops are actually encoding. I'm actually getting encoding overriding of OBS itself. So it is NVIDIA broadcast. You can see all of my all weapon systems are fully synchronized. Ship authority works. I can take off. I can go to a planet. But watch this. I can now switch. Right. So now authority, similarly, is optional. So we can go back here, and I can go and jump in. Right, and now I have control over the ship. Right, or we can do this. You know, now that everything's working, like I can go and jump in the co-pilot seat. And I will go ahead and fly it. Now the quantum animations are not fully synced, but we are fully like aligned. And like I said, just the frame rate of the client, the other client right now is kind of bad, but you know, we're here, we're in planet gravity, right? And I can get out on the gravity stuff. I'm actually like in the middle of changing right now. So when we leave this, yeah, the gravity on the planet is currently broken. But it's only broken temporarily because I'm working on a nested gravity fields system. So there's technically, if I were to go 0G, like the gravity is still applying to me, but my auto orientation is not, like, if that makes sense. So it needs to track, like, you know, the nesting of gravity volume. So the planet's gravity exists, you know, as a volume. So does the ship's internal gravity, and the ship is obviously, you know, up in the planet, and you know, but when you leave the ship, it needs to know. But that's only broken just right now because I'm in the middle of fixing that. And we did the current running build. That's actually you know, running fine. But like, you know, all the basics of everything is all running, right? Like all the prison system's working. We can go shut down comrays. We can upgrade our ships and pull everything off, and you know, can do everything like in the game. Like delivery missions work online. As you know, as an example, right? I can just go up here and do a delivery mission. You know, pick it up. All right. Drop it off. There's only one. There's only 2 terminals here for the sake of testing, but you know. We just made money, right? We're making money, right? And all this is synced, and everyone that, like, if I'm in a ship and I leave and I come back in, everything is synced. You're all in your own stations. It's all so that's where I got to now at Fusion, where all the tech is working, all the NPCs are working, the NPC flight's working, combat's working, shields working, pips are working. All of the systems are working, right? So now it becomes like, even the you're gonna really like the prison stuff. It's there's so much stuff to QA, but like we have if there's a weapon on this guy, yeah, this is my little test. Let me grab some weapons here. Ignore this. Let me just close out some of these. I meant to change the running processes to, you know, a lot less, but right. But all of the I need to grab 2 tri-lasers real quick. That's an asteroid field of 2 million asteroids. I need 2 tri-lasers, because I never actually put any on the ship. So I'm just gonna give it the toss. So, hello. Oh. So check this out. So now we have free look. We have free look in Unity, but this is a whole new system that I can't wait to show you. Find the enemy. Oh, oh yeah, he was actually landed. I think he's over here landed. Here. Yeah, so all the pips are all working, shields are all working. Get wrecked. Check this out. full quad tree based asteroid system. There is 2.4 million asteroids here. Right, with no frame rate loss. They're all like GPU instances, but there's a whole system I'm going to get into later. When it comes to creating a big soup of this stuff, you know, for because it's meant to obscure the actual correct asteroid clusters that you can actually break down. So, and they're obviously not going to be this thick, but every one of these. What's the camera was like looking at me? Every one of these green grids, right, have a cluster, and they're not going to be like in a green, you know, it's not going to be like board level. It's just this is just a representation of the system. But yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. I got some cool stuff planned. But yeah, it's getting this new station technology in. Oh, and check this out. Let me find where I put the kill zone. I'll put the kill zone over here. Yeah, I gotta get this gravity stuff working. Could be. It's like there's an invisible little kill zone over here that gives you a crime stat. I just need to find it. Let me just reset my gravity real quickly. Thank you. The gravity is really weak. Alright, let me just like find this spot. I should have put on debug collision shapes. But it was just here. Come on, find the thing. Trying to put myself in prison so we can see the system work. I might have moved it. These are the mining lasers. The mining lasers are pretty cool. They're not supposed to be on by default, but you know. It is what they look like when they're on. Tractor beam actually works. Yeah. I really had the gravity like left in a terrible state right now. That refactoring will continue. But yeah, Fusion, once you're free and you have some time, there's a lot of like QA stuff. I'll show you the prison system looking, but we won't worry about that right now. We're gonna go back to what I was supposed to be working on, which is Space Edit. Space Edit is going to be the key. And you need a current version of the launcher. So let me send that to you on Discord real quick. I'm gonna change this back to the 16:9. But yeah, it's just, just going along. Just keep working on it. Non-stop. The economy stuff has been redone. It's looking a lot cooler. The biggest thing is Fusion is I need you to do what you did before to a certain degree. Like like you were more because I have uniform testing and doing a QA stuff like from a player's perspective, and that's been helping. But I need to like really go back to like trying to create that perfect vertical slice again, like visually, like kind of like a visual priority of like what can be put together as a showcase. You've taken your videography skills to a new level since. Ooh, cool. Yeah, it's weird that like it's not giving me when we do. Yeah, I wonder if it's a limitation of duplicate. I didn't actually check and see if when we actually duplicated the item, if we Oh, I didn't notice your message on YouTube. Yeah, space edit. It's gonna be the next 2 weeks. In my inflated boredom, I created a YouTube channel. Nice. Well, that's the goal of Space Edit. Space Edit will allow us to build in the game together. Right? It'll enable anybody to go into Space Edit mode and kind of like realign things, replace things, edit things. I also want to do some. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, subscribe. I want to try to like yeah, just building tooling, right, that helps scale. That's pretty much how you win long term. Did you see the GTA launch trailer? Yeah, I'm excited for that game. Clear the block, which should clear the clone. Clears the block selector. Clone the object. For replacing. Set the selected block. Yeah, I'm wondering. Instead of waiting another year. Range of the meter. Yeah, it should be doing like it should be literally doing select grid, and select grid should be placing the item. But I think we got to get rid of this duplicate. I don't think duplicate actually. So duplicates a node between a new node, all its properties, singles, groups, children. The behavior can be tweaked for nodes with scripts attached. The Godot object has been defined with required parameters. The duplicated node might not have a script. So how do we? Let me go to Grok real quick and just take a look. See. Maybe how do we make sure scripts copy? Oh, hang on, it doesn't know what we're dealing with. Kiddo, too sharp. Never even gave it context. Okay, yeah, no, duplicate node will reference the same script unless it was modified. Yeah, duplicate as a sibling. So you can copy the node to use instancing. If the script uses instance specific data unique to a node, which is what we want, because I have a feeling we're not duplicating the oh, and ensure the owner is set after we do the duplication. Right. Okay, what are the plans? This flags is 15. Scripts is 4. We'll just cast it. We do. Cast use instancing. What else? Yeah, so let's do that, and then let's do block node. We set the owner before we add it to the scene tree? Or do we have just add it to the scene tree first? I wonder. Yeah, I don't know if we'd actually need those. Maybe it's just the ownership that's messing it up. Let's see. Is unable to cast object to type static body to type block selector. Oh, in the copy? For what? For the duplicate? Oh. mean, it's a static body 3D. I don't know why I wouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like the duplicate. See, it's working, but the selector is not working because it's not duplicating the it's not duplicating the mesh. When I select it, it's actually just going to be selecting the selector is working, but the mesh that it's duplicating, it's not doing like what it's supposed to do, which is like when I select it, it's supposed to do this. And because I'm duplicating one that's in memory, like it's supposed to be like I should be able to select this, like let me come down, right, and then rotate it. And it's supposed to deselect the other ones. And I turned off deselection just to, you know, like figure out like why it's not actually selecting it in the first place. But we should be able to do that here. I should be able to just pick like any one of these things, move it up to the same horizon, put it in, put this one in, hit escape, and we should be able to select them. And like it is working, like we are selecting them, but it's not duplicating the script for the selection. So it's unable to cast a static body 3D to a block selector, which doesn't make sense because static body 3D is it. Today you learned that the Godot supports Rust. Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of GD extensions for Rust. It's really. Oh, I wish I had more time today. I teach myself Rust for a different project, and I came across that info. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's pretty cool what you can do with it. Yeah, no, why? Selector's not working. Like I might have to actually pre-instantiate and not duplicate, but it would be so nice if I could just duplicate. Just grab a block. Let me give some AI a context. So why is the duplicated objects child block selector not changing the mesh? Okay, I want to reset the block as a block selector child, which contains the array of mesh instances. Issue after duplication, the select and deselect does not update the mesh overlay of the mesh instance. Those are expecting so the meshes array the block selector is not properly initialized during the copy of duplication. And then the overlay material is not appropriate. And methods are not being called in duplicate. There are likely reasons why the mesh instance node is duplicated. Well, yeah, that's doesn't matter. But I think it's the node references ensures that the scripts are copied, but may not guarantee that all node references are duplicated. either duplicate it hasn't run before select may prevent method calls. Oh, hang on. That's true. If we've already duplicated it, it's not actually going to do what it would normally have done. For a block selector, would have already been. No, that should still be fine too. But, you know, and maybe like I should, you know, there probably isn't a big cost for freeing a node. Hey, hang on, how do you pronounce that? The Illithon? Oh, I'm gonna butcher it. Illithon? The game's doing good. We're working on an in-game editor right now. Yeah, we might not do the duplicate and just do the despawn spawn, which is very annoying because, right, like I am getting the deselect. Let me just do some testing real quick, because the issue that we're having, we're gonna do some vibe coding here for a second. Okay, so if we do it and this gets selected, the block is being treated as a static body instead of a custom block. This happens when the scripts are not properly attached. When you duplicate using duplicate flags, should remain attached. However, the script is not properly assigned. Yes. Ithalan, Lord of the Rings reference. I like watching coding. I use ChatGPT and Sim for my coding. Oh yeah, I've been using the crap out of Grok lately. Grok's been doing pretty good up there. Oh, so it could be a serialization issue. I mean, I made it a global class afterwards, and just highly doubt there's a path mismatch. We aren't looking, yeah, so we can actually apply all of this. Yeah, let's do that real quick first. So let's do, before we give up on the idea of, you know, use instantization, groups, singles. Alright, let's see if it will actually copy. And we won't preserve many things. We'll just let it happen. And see if we can actually... It'd be a good win if I could do it the way I want to do it, because it'll be more performant. No? So now in blocks. Right, we aren't getting scripts. Or at least we're not getting scripts in the remote tree. I mean, it shows them. You're seeing them here, block selector, in the inside corner. Right, this is fine, this array is fine. It goes to 623, so this should be 623. See, this is the issue here. The meshes that it's referencing that we need to be swapping out. 663, which should be this block selector, should go to this mesh. That's not the mesh. So it's still referencing the original mesh from the object that was cloned. Right, that was 192. It's saying 188. No. So we might have to reinstantiate the objects when we're placing them, instead of duplicating them from a preload. But you'd think like that would work. I should be able to actually duplicate them. The only thing I can see is that because the one that was created wasn't really added to the tree, like the selected block doesn't actually get added anywhere. It just gets instantiated. So it doesn't ever run its own ready function. But it's just a block. Oh, so it never gets its block selector. Ready. I don't know, all that, yeah, all that just stuff we just on the game object. We should have all of those. Right? Block selector, there's the mesh. So that's all fine. Same with the other one. Yeah, so it's definitely probably just not the duplication working. I'm gonna remove the flags because I think the default flags are just all flags. Yeah, so we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take the one that already exists for the selected object. So we're not going to do that. We are going to add the actual selected block in the drawer. As it is. We are going to reposition that selected block. To be the clone's position. It should be fine. Double transform. And then we'll leave this in the scene, but we'll clear the actual drawer that selected block got cleared. We'll clear the block. So we'll just literally take the block that we kind of preloaded and put it in the scene, and then just clear the drawer and leave it alone. Because what I want to have is when we're selecting these, we're preloading them. And like Oh, but then like yeah, right. The whole point of that was so that I could keep going with clones of the selected object. But if I place the selected object into the scene, I clear it. But it works. Right. And I'd had to select another one. Right. This way they're actually created every time I click. That's kind of annoying. But it works. So maybe what we'll do when we add that, let's do a clear block. Every time we clear the block, let's reselect. Yeah, we can do that. Clear the block. Oh, but we're clearing the client. Yeah, okay. Working on an editor. We need to hire an editor to cut these streams and the TikToks to get eyeballs in the project. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Fusion just gave me that same spiel, Dreams. Literally, Fusion just gave me that exact same spiel. Yeah, so I don't want to. Yeah, then I gotta select the block. At least that the instantiation works. It's kind of annoying. Duplicate. Why doesn't duplicate behave in the true sense of yeah, because I want to reselect the like I can clone it for other purposes, and I know that that works absolutely fine. If I clone it, strip it off. Maybe let's do this. So block selected, selected block, but because we're going to reinstantiate, let's actually do a selected block resource. And we'll actually set that to. This way when we every time we drop it, we can also kind of like make an option to like add a new one. So it'll just like preload a new one to be placed. So when we select selected object, as from the drawer's perspective, the selected object is the one we want to be placing. We're loading one. So when we do that, when we press the block ID, create our selected block. We're also going to create. We're also going to do our selected resource, and then we're going to instantiate our clone. So every time we run a clear. Yeah, we'll do a public So this will be a select new. And it'll be optional. And we'll just preload from our selected block resource. If there is one. Anyway, this way we can select a new block. Every time we place, we can create a default behavior to select a new instance of the same thing. So unless we change the selected block manually in the editor, we'll keep placing the same one. So when we do the placement, we'll clear the block and we'll select a new one. Right, so now we already preloaded this. We placed it, and that triggered a new preload. So we should have another one. We have another one ready to go, but it's not cloned. Okay, no, they're selected. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we'll have to re-clone the yeah. So now we do this. Right, so now we can keep painting, which is what I want. Or we can hit escape, and these are actually individual objects that can be selected now. So they do have like instance properties, which means we can rotate them and do things, and they should run their deselect method, which is what we want. So we only have one selected. Alright, so now everything should be working. Now, when I'm clicking, I'm also placing because the click is passing through. So like when I click again, we're going to be placing, so we got to ignore that. Okay. Okay, this is progress. Right, and the next step is we need to determine what we're doing when we have these things selected. So while there is actually a selected object, we need to be able to go to like move mode and then just move it around. Right, or if we have one selected and then we mouse remove, you know, we need to clearly define what the behavior expectation is. And we got to do a bit more work on the inspector, because we need to make sure, like, you know, we're only clicking stuff. Then we like deselect. You know. So every time we do this, we should be running a deselect on the last selected. and escape by default. Like it pre-cancels, but it doesn't pre-escape. Or it doesn't do a deselect. And that should really be a, yeah, it's a generic despike then. We also want we wanted to take the last object that we created as well, the rotation, into consideration. But we need to have like clicking on this not do anything. So this needs a block mouse input from happening. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna get ready and raid someone. It's good progress for the hour. I wanted to do just a short stream. Tomorrow, so back to the ClickUp. Like we have selectables now. I want to just if we hit delete, you know, on one of these, you know, select it'll just delete. So that'll be tomorrow. We'll add it to the sprint. So you know, delete selected object. Put it in sprint. Maybe we'll do initial zone support. Quick zone placement. Multiplayer be down. So previews be fun for tomorrow. Sealing a floor system straightforward. Do that tomorrow too. One more prefabs. We got a door prefab. Door game on. Using the convention. Okay, we'll leave that. We'll end it here on YouTube. And we'll find someone to read. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in, for all the support. Things are coming along. As soon as this editor gets to a certain point where I can bring in some of the main objects, I can start building up stations. I'm planning on adding some type of scripting support, so maybe like add Lua support. or randomization. Right, like for the editor. Either Lua or something simple, like a very simple scripting language, integrated on user side, which would be really cool.